All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Welcome to Dumb SEO Questions, episode 194. Each week we meet here to discuss the questions asked on the SEO Questions community on Google+, the Dumb SEO Questions page on Facebook, and also you can ask a question via Twitter on Dumb SEO. QS, I think it is. Is that right? Dumb SEO QS. Okay. You can post questions and join us here on the panel. On the panel here tonight, we have Masataki Wasa, a renowned wordsmith. Masataki is webmaster of wasaweb.net. You can find him at wasaweb.net. He's based in Wimbledon in the UK. He's also a Google top contributor on the AdSense community. A Google top contributor on the Google My Business community is Tim Capper. He's also CEO of OnlineOwnership.com. He's based in Corby, a little bit north of London. And William Rock. William is based in Kansas, and he is a Google top contributor on which community, William?
Web search.
On web search. All right. I'm sorry, I don't know the URL of your domain.
WilliamRock.com.
WilliamRock.com. Okay. All right, we have a few questions tonight. Let me just click this button and we'll go to the first one. This is a question from Michael D. Ross. Michael has asked a few questions of us in the past week or two. It's actually Susan, Michael's wife. It's on duplicate content and canonical issues. It's a long question. I won't try to read it out again, but it is about duplicate content and canonical URLs. Basically, she was asking, she took our advice to have one website with two location pages with a separate page for each of the two cities, and her concern was if she just duplicates the pages and they have a lot of content which is common to each other, will that be a problem?
Is this same site, just landing pages like folders, or is this actually two separate sites targeting the cities?
No, this is a single site, William.
Okay.
It's a single site, and it has, but the business has two physical locations, and so there'll be two pages on the site for each location.
Thank you.
Well, nobody wants to jump in. Oh, you go ahead, Tim, sorry.
Okay, so they've got one site now. They created a unique page for both cities. Same services, that's fine. Okay, so 90% unique content for each of those pages. Obviously, for those cities, you've also got an embedded map from your business page. You've got opening times, closing times. In terms of that, you may want to list the lawyers in each of those. You know, like somewhere down the line, meet the team, and then you could list the 3 or 4 lawyers because those would be unique to each one. Now, I'm wondering if unique content strategy is the way to go, or if I could or should just duplicate the pages. Not quite sure what you mean. You've got 2 location pages. Be completely different because one would be hi, in X town. We've been located in this property for 25 years, working with the local community, blah, 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 blah. Embedded map, opening times, address, meet the team, get completely unique. The other one would also be completely different. So I'm not. You want to canonicalize something there.
Yeah, that's something that I'm struggling to understand. So there are 2 pages, one for each location, and 90% of the information on those pages are unique to that page. So I'm not so sure where the duplication comes in. Does she mean duplicating the location pages or some sort of content for those pages? I'm not. I mean, the sub pages, if you like articles, blog articles or something like that. So it's a bit unclear to me what exactly she's trying to do in this instance.
Well, now that you said it that way, I think that it might be the body text that Tim was alluding to that has the information about we've been working in this area for a certain amount of time. And maybe if there's multiple locations, more than 2, is that looking at a duplicate, like almost like a
No, well, as far as I can tell, those pages would be unique anyway, and even if you just said these are the services we offer, and you click through to the service pages, that would still be fine. I mean,
yeah, because you can return to the individual offices. But I think the important thing is that you can't really use canonicalization if if pages refer to 2 different locations. You don't want to do that. That's I think that we have to make clear that you can't canonicalize page into 1 location. That wouldn't be a good idea if that's what the question is. And I think Tim's right. I think it's 2 locations. We can ensure that each location has more and more unique content on that page that refers to a particular location. Yeah, okay, so I think the important bit is about adding local things. So what kind of clients you've had, for example. Those would be different in 2 locations. Um, um, what kind of work you do, so perhaps there are different industries that are prominent in these different 2 locations. I think there are ways to talk more about what's particular about each of the locations. So it's a question of finding out those and really saying, oh yeah, so that's the difference between this practice and that practice.
Yeah. All right. I think we can call this one answered. If there are no objections, I will move on.
I think if maybe we've kind of got a just slightly clearer idea of what their end objection is or what they're thinking of, we can probably give them a bit more idea there. I mean, do we have a URL?
It's michaelross.com, I think. No, I'm not sure.
Oh, no, that's...
Would it be michaelrosslawyer.com?
No, well, unless I'm misspelling it. Maybe Ross Law? No, that's a different picture.
Let me look for it. I have looked at it before in the past.
Yeah, well, look, I mean, if they kind of give us a bit more idea on what they're thinking of, then we can probably... Because, hang on, Michael Ross Law. This might be it. It doesn't look like the same guy, unless he's used a younger picture in his profile. And this has only got one location, so no. Yeah, if they just give us some more info on what they're actually thinking, we could probably give a slightly better answer.
All right. Okay, let's move to the next one. Susan, I hope... also, I did mean to thank Federico Sasso and Suraj Gadagay and I can't remember the other, but look, I thank the others that look after our give answers on our SEO Questions community through the week. All right, this is one from Edasham Shaikh, and Edasham has asked us a number of questions in the past. Tonight he's asking about a tool called LinkDex. He's recently heard about it, and he needs some opinions from users or have heard of and or used this tool. And he did fortunately receive a comment from Dave Elliott. And look, I'll read out Dave's response, and if you guys have something to add to it, that'll be fine. Dave said, I use this on a daily basis. It is by far my favourite rank tracking tool. The accuracy is very good. I love the way the tagging works, and I really love the new interface, which provides useful information easily. Also, using its API, application programming interface, is simple, presuming you know how to use pivot tables and VLOOKUP in Excel to add the rankings into Excel documents for reporting. I don't really use its other features, such as its linked data tools or content stuff. The visibility reports are fairly useful, but SEMrush does this a bit better. I believe it is quite expensive, though. He said, although very scalable. Dave was saying that because he doesn't actually pay the bill. He works with a large agency in the UK. And he said, so you need to be working with a few clients who have a large keyword portfolio to justify the expense. If I had a budget for buying 3 premium tools, it would definitely be in there along with SEMrush and Majestic. If I had the budget to buy only one, I'd go with Moz. It's the best all-rounder, but doesn't do anything brilliantly. LinkDex is an awesome tool. I'm a massive fan. Well, that's a good wrap, guys.
Yeah, I was actually taking a look at LinkDex because that the dashboards in that, and even also on the homepage, the video, going through on what some of the things it does cover, and the dashboards are. I mean, the pivot tables and everything are just a lot of good information. But the price point on that is $600 a month for the standard, $1,500 a month for premium, and $6,000 a month for enterprise. So, like you said, it's quite a bit of information, but it's keywords tracked, website analysis. I mean, it's got a lot of pieces that kind of pull, like the person commenting with Majestic, SEMrush, and Moz combined into one, it looks like.
Yeah, Yeah. All right, let's go to the next. Edison Sheikh, I hope that's what you were looking for. Niraj Kumar asked a question titled, should I make them no-follow links? Niraj said, I have to publish a list of 150 companies with the links of their website, contact email, and active social media pages. So there will be 5 links per company. Is this okay in an SEO perspective? Should I make them no-follow links? Please suggest. Edison Sheikh said on the community, no follow external sites, but I'm not sure that I agree with Edison in this particular instance. I don't think there's anything wrong with providing information and providing a direct link. You guys on strike tonight?
It almost sounds like a partner page. You know, you would say, you know, if you've got some big companies, I mean, like take back to the other company, SEMrush. I mean, they've got a partner section that has links out to, you know, their partners, and NEC, Microsoft, they all do the same thing. It's, I think, how you are going to be putting all those companies together on the page and how many links per page. Like you say, 150 companies with links to their website, but are those all on one page? Are they organized by metro, or by region, or by an area that they specialize that is helping other people, their clients? There's all sorts of different questions I would have if I looked at it. So it's a
Yeah, I mean, the official answer would be that if the links are editorial, then it's fine. Follow links are fine. If the links are in consideration for something else, then no. But of course, Google won't know which is the case in many cases. So it's a question of how it would look like as an outsider. So the question really goes down to, why are you creating this page? And has there been any sort of exchange for that listing? Or is there a reasonably clear perception that there might be some sort of exchange going on? If that were the case, then I'd no follow those links. You could no follow just to be safe, I suppose. But
yeah, and to make a second point to that would be also the theme. Is it also a related theme to what you're already selling on the website too, right? If I was NEC and I'm pushing all this to my telephones or my, you know, other sub companies within that, and I'm not going to have a plumber that is in my NEC list of links out from my website. So keeping it theme based as well is another thing to think about.
Yeah. Yeah, the other thing is, he's saying 150 companies, 5 links per company. That's 750 links, isn't it? That's a lot of links on a single page. That they wouldn't have much value, follow or no follow.
true. I mean, I think it means the website, the actual website, contact email, and then social media pages. So yeah, really, and its entity might have a few links. That's quite easy to see.
All right. Let me tweet this, and if I haven't done it already, no, I haven't. Okay, let's go to the next. We've got an easy night tonight, guys. Only 7 questions, 1 news item. Naraj Pandey asked a question on mobile website in a tablet. He said, "Hi community, I have a desktop and an M.dot website for mobile users. The desktop isn't responsive, so by now my client served a mobile website in a tablet, saying he tested 2 years back and got good conversion. I know that the search engine guideline is to serve desktop in a tablet. In this case, they serve the mobile site. What are the drawbacks in this? Thanks."
Well, there isn't a drawback in having your own separate mobile site. In fact, it makes it a lot easier than a responsive site to design it specifically for mobile. So actually, it's easier. It's easier to make it user friendly, specifically for mobile.
If I can just interrupt you there, Tim. I don't think he's asking that question. I think he's saying that when he does the redirects, he's redirecting if the user is using a tablet, that they are redirecting to the mobile site. And he's saying that the guidelines are to search the desktop version on a tablet. And he wants to know what are the drawbacks if they continue to serve the mobile site for tablets.
I don't know.
And I would also double check the redirect. I mean, if the website loads nicely on the tablet as well as the mobile, and it's really doing the same thing like Tim mentioned, having a separation of the responsive versus a separate application or a subdomain for your mobile. That redirect, I would test the redirect and not actually the fire on tablet, only on mobile device. And it's built 2 years. If this was 2 years ago, then maybe looking at that code, because things have changed dramatically in the last 2 years. With that redirect, I'd probably just do a test, with the tablet again. If it's supposed to be showing supposed to be showing the desktop on the tablet, then what tablet are they testing it with too? And then there's also emulator tools that they can, instead of actually just testing on one tablet, it could use an emulator tool to see across a population of different devices and see how it displays across everything else for fine tuning.
Yeah, and one thing is that many people use tablets both in portrait and in landscape. So a mobile site might look okay, portrait might not be so great on landscape. So I think it becomes quite complicated with tablets because the portrait and landscape modes can be quite a large difference.
Yeah. Well, if I can respond to Naraj Pandey and say, in this case, we don't know. To my mind, I hadn't seen this guideline before, and in fact, what we do with a couple of M.dot sites that I manage, We are redirecting on tablet-sized screens. The desktop just wouldn't look good on a tablet. So, look, I haven't noticed any downside to what we're doing, but I'm no judge. Your mileage may vary. All right. Let's call that an answer. And Niraj, I'm sorry I can't give a better one. Let's go on to the next. It's number 5 on your run list, guys. Keyword research methodology to implement is the title of the question. It's from Padmanab Daga. And Padmanab said, "Hi, this is my second question here." You're welcome, mate. My brother is starting a fashion brand and is in the content writing phase. Can someone suggest the keyword research methodology to implement? How, where, and what to target? He said, please mention tools as well and or important articles. Thank you, he said. And Suraj Gadagay has given us another brilliant answer. I'm not going to read out this one. But you can read it if you're watching. You can read this answer on the SEO Questions community on Google+. It looks like the guys have nothing to add, Padmanab. And Suraj is a very good judge, and as Kyle Hawke also said in the comments, Suraj pretty much covered it. All right, let me tweet this one. And we'll move to the next. This one, the home page with schema.org rating stars applied. This is from Lucas Regala. It's a, oh, I see. Lucas said, has anybody noticed any home pages with schema.org rating stars applied? So we're gathering a lot of comments and ratings of our business from our clients. And I'm willing to use them somehow, except this is pure user-generated content, which make things a little bit fresh.
I'm actually doing that same thing with one of my clients. He found the listings with stars as well, and that's using the schema markup. And I'm trying to emulate that currently. I haven't been able to have one go in and show in the organic search results, but it's really neat to see. Not in paid, because the paid side we always get to see, but the organic side, being able to have those stars really adds a little bit more real estate and eyeball attention, because it's not. It brings 10 results into now the eyeball of maybe 3 or 4 that actually have the stars, or even 1. Not to say that that's the best site, but it actually catches your attention. And I'm trying to find the code that I copied from their website to kind of emulate with. So, but yeah, it's pretty neat that Google's putting that into the organic results for merchants and in service industries.
Yep. Lucas, I'm sorry, we haven't got more for you tonight. I wish you well in your search. All right, here's our last question for the night, number 7 on your run list. It's from David Alanekian. David asked a question titled, "How can Google know my bounce rate?" David said, various SEO experts insist that bounce rate is a ranking factor today. How can Google know my bounce rate in case I am not using analytics and the user is not using Chrome? It's seriously surprising how these SEO guys ignore that problem in their articles. I see Federico Sasso gave a good response. He suggested that the term is being used improperly. In other words, what really Google is calculating is the back to the search engine results page rate, because as you know, Google JavaScript redirects every link that you click out of a Google search engine results page is JavaScript redirected to the landing page, and of course when that happens they would be logging it, logging the IP and the user agent. They'd be logging all the information they could so that they can study the behavior and act on the behavior. If you have a site that is an answer in a search result, and immediately after the first result is clicked, immediately after people are back already clicking on the second result, it's fairly easy for them to deduce that the site's either down or it certainly didn't give the right answer.
Yeah, and you can also see that in your Search Console, and that's where the impressions and clicks come from. But you know, you make a good point, Jim. They can track it with the JavaScript. It goes to the actual website, and based off the time that person spent, depending on the theme of the answer, it could be just, you know, what is 1 + 1, and have the answer, right? And now the bounce is actually taken place, and that's a false positive signal. The person got the answer, right? But I think CTR is always something that we should look at, but not as a ranking signal. There's further things that you need to look at from the analytical side, going, okay, Google gave me this many search queries, and people went and they clicked on my site, and I'm an average position of this. But then when you look into your Google Analytics, you're able to then dive deeper into those query reports and see, did that query bring you an actual visitor? When you're looking at your visitor flow report, where did they go after they came to the site? And if they're actually leaving again, you know, look at the page as your own and say, okay, yeah, they should be spending at least 2 minutes on this page and scrolling down and maybe going to a button that says, you know, your call to action. Did they complete your goal? Now, going back to ranking, I don't pay attention to that portion. I look at it as, okay, if my click-through ratio on search or the Search Console is they're testing queries for me. So basically, if I'm relevant to a search query or I'm not, and they're going to find that out by, you know, like Jim was saying, that click to your site and then going back and searching it again, right? So, hope that helps a little bit.
Yep, certainly does. Anybody else? Jim's involved on a call. Okay, so David, I see that you said back to the search engine result page rate would surprise me less, and yep, I agree with you. Oh, yeah, you go on to say, but still, even in that case, if the user is not back to the search engine results page, you don't know if they are spending hours on the site or closed the window and went to sleep. Yeah, I don't think Google's really interested in somebody being away for too long, in that, you know, they're obviously satisfied with the search engine result. What they're concerned about is if somebody is back quickly. Anyway, that's my view anyway. All right, so let me tweak that. Oh, I've done it already. All right, we've done it again, guys. For yet another week, we've answered all of the questions asked on the SEO Questions community on Google+. Now we move on to our weekly SEO News Roundup. And there's not much to be rounded up this week, or at least we haven't rounded up much this week. We have one topic, and this topic this week is on Federico Sasso's Visual SEO Studio, which is recently out of beta. Now, I've used this tool, and I also have it installed on my laptop. Anybody else have it? It's available as a free download.
No, I'm actually looking at finding it right now. So it's visual-seo.com. Is that the? Yeah.
I'm not sure of the URL, but if you just do a search for Sasso and Visual SEO Studio, I think you'll find it.
So did you say, Jim, you've already downloaded and you've been playing with it?
Yeah. A few weeks ago, Federico announced that it was beta, and I jumped on.
Almost looks like Screaming Frog in one way. I mean, the interface is nice. Too bad he doesn't have it for a Mac, though.
You use a Mac, William?
I do. I haven't been on a PC since 2012.
Okay.
Not to say that PC is anything wrong. There are plenty of those in the house.
All right, look, I think I'll wrap it up for tonight. I recommend, if you haven't seen it already, get hold of Federico Sasso's Visual SEO Studio, and you can find it at http://visual-seo.com. All right. Thank you for watching us. Your interest in what we do makes what we do worthwhile. We appreciate that, and it's with gratitude that we thank you very much. We'll be back at the same time next week to do this all again. But for now, it's good night.